I Don't Get It
Podcast.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. This is Naz.
This is Lauren.
This is Ashley.
And on the podcast today, we're bringing back the Occupational series. And Kaitlyn Herman is joining us, who's a life coach. Hello, Kaitlyn.
I am. Hey, guys.
I feel like I sound so radio right now. I'm like Frasier.
You do a little. But this is a judgment-free zone.
I think you know why? Because just so everyone listening, I'm Skyping in Lauren and Ashley, and I've never had to like put this all together before. And I'm like, coming in live from the East Coast, Lauren and Ashley.
So we wanted to start out the new year with somebody who would be inspirational, hopefully, to all you guys out there. And if you're unfamiliar with Kaitlyn Herman, she was on Big Brother season 20, which aired in the summer of 2018. She lasted 37 days in the house and she placed 13th. Kaitlyn, I want to jump into how you became a life coach and what exactly it means.
Sure.
So what is a life coach? Because it sounds hippy dippy and spacey.
It sounds so spacey. It literally sounds so spacey. But it's a good question because a lot of people make fun of it, or they're like, they use it as, why would you have a life coach instead of a therapist? And it becomes a very big, like, that's a fake job. So I'm glad you asked. But I originally, this was not my plan. I don't think anyone grows up and it's like, I'm going to be a life coach one day. That feels right. Like, that just does not happen for anyone. But I was like in the music industry. I thought I was going to be the next Ari Gold from Entourage, music agent, like killing the scene. And then that's what I went to school for. And a year after, out of college, I lived in New York and I had a big time music industry job. And I was like, this doesn't feel right in my soul. Something feels missing. Something doesn't feel connected and I don't like it. So one thing led to another and I applied for a program that allows you to get your certification to be a life coach, which is an extensive, just like, therapy, you need a certain amount of hours to do it and to complete it. And that's what I did. I started to realize that at a young age, a lot of my friends were in this space that they were like, I went to school for this, but now I don't want to do it. And it was like all these young girls I was around and no one knew their purpose. And it felt like I was supposed to guide people to their purpose. So I specifically went to this coaching program to walk out of it knowing that I was going to be what's called a life purpose coach. So helping people realize what is their purpose, how can you get there? And the biggest thing, you ask what a life coach is and people ask what the difference between therapy and coaching is. And for a coach, I will never tell you what to do. And I don't fucking know it all. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Fuck yeah. I don't know it all. I'm 25 years old. I cannot say that I have all the answers, but I don't give them to you. I ask you questions to make you realize you have the answers, and I just hold you accountable for getting to where you need to be. So life coaching, super like present and future, whereas therapy is like a lot of work on past stuff.
Wow.
When I was reading about what you believe a life coach is, I was like, man, I think I am my husband's life coach.
It's possible. It's possible.
That's hilarious. So give me an example, or give all of us an example then, Kaitlyn. Like, what do people go to you for exactly? What kind of questions do they go in to ask you?
Yeah, a lot. Well, before it changed. So before Big Brother, a lot of my clients were young girls, like 21 to 25, that were in that stage of, I just went to college. I just either wasted all of my money or my parents' money or whatever to get this degree in psychology, and now I don't want to fucking do it. Or I did this, what do I do? So it was kind of like working one-on-one to make you realize, who are you? What is it that you want? What is your purpose? And then kind of going and digging into those fear-based beliefs that they had that was preventing them from thinking that they can do what they actually want to do. Because there's so many people that want to be actors or actresses or artists or creatives, and they're like, I can't fucking do that because I need to pay my bills. And it's like, well, okay, well, what is the fear? Is the fear money? Is the fear the limited belief that, 1 in a million make it and you don't think it's, but that's also your purpose? So it's kind of getting around what the blocks are that are preventing you from doing what you need to do in order to be like a happy person in this world.
Like, you help people realize what the blocks are so that they can overcome
and
them.
so they can like live in truth and in alignment and be the best versions of themselves. There's a lot of spirituality that goes into it also. I am very selective when I bring on clients, and like I said, my my clientele has changed since after being on the show. I do coach a lot of reality stars now. I was on a CBS show. I do a lot of Survivor, Big Brother, those type of people because I went on the show. I had a really shitty experience. I felt like there was not enough support when I got off. And I was like, okay, well, the universe just gave me a platform. They put me on a television show. I had a really shitty time and you have a life coaching certification. It's like, what are you going to do? I'd be a moron if I didn't say, I'm going to coach people that just went through this and I'm going to help them decide what are they doing next. What's your purpose post reality show?
So there's so many people that like go on reality shows and they have like crazy like realizations and stuff, and you are probably the only person that's like a therapist that could relate to that experience.
Which is not
and people are like
therapist.
fucked.
Sorry,
I'm sure
not a
you
therapist,
guys can relate, but like
coach.
people are fucked up after shows.
Oh yeah,
it's like not okay.
Kaitlyn, you say like you like help people find their purpose and who they are. So now obviously my natural question is what is your purpose? Do you find your purpose to help others find their purpose?
Yeah, my purpose like very simply is to serve. So like in whatever capacity that is. If I'm typically of service to other people through coaching, but I mean now that I have a platform in other ways, I'm serving different communities for different issues, for different problems. And I appreciate the fact like I just started a podcast myself and now I'm able to reach people that can't afford to do one-on-one coaching with me.
Right,
so my whole job here, like in this lifetime, is to serve in whichever way I can, as many people as I can.
I love that. We actually have a sponsor called BetterHelp, which if you guys listen, we have a discount code for. But it also is like an online service for affordable like counseling. Because you're right.
That's amazing.
It's so expensive to get help. So there is a part of me that's really sad that the holidays are over. But there's also a part of me that knows, especially by hosting Heartbroken Anonymous meetings, that the holidays can be really tough for some people and can make you feel extra lonely. When that's not a fun feeling, to be honest. It's supposed to be a time of year where everyone's supposed to feel joyous. And so because of that, I am somewhat happy that the holidays are over. But I wanted to bring up maybe a thought starter for you. Is there something that interferes with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals? BetterHelp Online Counseling is there for you. And it is a new year, so there's no better time to invest and discover a service like BetterHelp. So BetterHelp connects you with professional counselors in a safe and private online environment. It's literally so convenient. You can get help on your own time and at your own pace. You can also schedule secure video or phone sessions, plus chat and text with your therapist. So BetterHelp connects you to thousands of licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, anger, family conflict, stress, anxiety, grief, relationships, sleeping, trauma, self-esteem, whatever. And anything you share is confidential. And if you're not happy with your counselor for any reason, you can request a new one at any time. Again, like I said, they have over 3,000 U.S. licensed therapists across all 50 states. It's available worldwide. So if you're listening to this across the pond or wherever you are, I want you to know that this is a resource and a sponsor you can totally take part in. And not to mention that financial aid is available for those who qualify, because I know therapy can be really expensive. So I want you guys to feel like there is a crutch there. At the end of the day, BetterHelp is secure, convenient, professional, affordable. And I do want to note that it is not a crisis line. Best of all, it's truly affordable option. So I Don't Get It listeners will get 10% off your first month with our discount code GETIT, GETIT. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/getit. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor that you love. That's betterhelp.com/getit. I saw your Instagram before you came over, and I was seeing that you're only taking on 5 clients for the year. Yeah. Why is that? Is it because it takes up a lot of time?
Those are only for people that are doing the full year client, like the 1 year paid situation.
What's that? What does that
I have
mean?
clients that will literally sign up to be a client of mine for 1 full year. So I'll only take 5 of you. But there are other programs where I do like 2-month, 5-month, but you cannot just buy like a session with me. It doesn't work like that because in the first session with a client, 60 minutes, I dissect everything about you, what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve, who you're trying to be. And in one session, sure, you'll get some insight and it'll be great, but I'm making a very unique plan for you to reach success and to find yourself. And one session, it's not going to happen.
So how do you, can you give us an example of someone that you coached and then they saw their goals recognized, achieved?
Yeah. I mean, I can't say.
No, don't say who.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, that's
got
just anonymously, I can't. But I had one of my first clients, I think, is my favorite story because I was so new. I had just gotten my certification. I was kind of in my head with my own fear-based stuff. Like, can I really make a difference? Can I really guide this person? And she had just moved to Boca to help out her grandma.
Ooh, go Boca.
Are you from Boca?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Amazing.
She had just moved to Boca because her grandfather passed and her grandma was alone, and she dropped all of her dreams. She wanted to be a cosmetologist. She left New York City. She just totally left and was like, I need to pay attention to my grandma right now. And just by working together, we kind of figured out like her fears and her setbacks. And we started to realize, well, why can't you do both? Like, why are you unable to serve your grandmother and also do X, Y, and Z? And then she ended up getting comfortable and figuring out that cosmetology wasn't for her. And she ended up going to law school and like now she just studied for her bar and like is taking her bar. And I think that the reason why that's such a success story is because she was in like the darkest depression of her life and didn't want to do anything and was like cosmetology and this and that. And we totally honed in on the fact that it wasn't cosmetology. It wasn't the fear of your grandmother being alone. This was all stuff within you. And now you're going to be a lawyer.
Right.
Like, it's just what you think is not always what it is. And my biggest goal and my biggest accomplishments with clients are when I can help you shift the realization and to not have you in the state of ego of thinking this is what you want to do when there's a million other truths that you have that might be better served, not just for you, but for other people.
Right. Or some people get stuck in like what your meaning is, I think. I'm very spiritual and like some people grow up saying, oh, I want to be this for the rest of my life. But then they just keep doing that even though they have changed and maybe that's not something that they want to do anymore.
It's just fear. It's just because it's how often can you like sit with yourself? And I mean, a lot of people do and a lot of spiritual people do, but there's the majority of the people in the world don't sit with their thoughts and feelings and don't meditate and don't listen to that voice in their head telling them to do something. It's just they're not listening.
I have a question. Do you feel like, and this may be like a little deep, but do you feel like a lot of the setbacks and obstacles people come to you with is based out of fear?
It's all based out of fear. Yes. And it's to get even deeper. And like, this is where I get very selective with my clients because some people are either going to get what I'm about to say or they're not. But I don't believe fear is real. Like, I believe fear is an illusion and it's fake. And that's not me saying that like I haven't suffered a fuck ton with anxiety or depression. I know the physical that can happen from giving into fear, but the idea of fear is not real. Like, you create your reality. Right. Ask, believe, receive. Like, you have the ability to make those thoughts positive, and fear is just something we created in this physical world. It's not of us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like anxiety. Like, it's things that your brain is worried about that would just never come true. So It's like, why do we let ourselves think that?
There's like a thing that I like to tell my clients, and either you get it or you don't, but it's very spiritual. It's very deep. But when someone says to me, like, Kaitlyn, like, what do you mean fear isn't real? Like, I worry about my parents' sickness every day. I worry about this, I worry about that. I like to say, when we're born, like when we're about to be born, we're all in our mother. We're all just chilling there, like eating digested leftovers, fucking around. We have not been exposed to this world yet.
Right.
We know nothing but love. We're just safe, warm. We know nothing but love. But the second we are born, the second the doctor is grabbing us, we're fucking screaming. It's cold. There's blood and discharge all over our fucking faces. We're like, what the hell is going on? The second we come here, welcome to fear. And then we spend our whole lives trying to return to love. We try our whole lives. And there are some people that are born and they're meant to find that purpose in this lifetime. But there's so many people that will never even understand what I'm saying. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But once you can understand that we come from love and we don't come from fear, it kind of like helps you exhale a little because you're like, okay, like that's not my true nature. I can find love whenever I want.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, new year, new you. If you're single like me, I think it is time to invest in yourself and your love life. And that is why I am about to tell you about OkCupid. I have been on so many dates where I have had nothing in common with the person. And a part of me has always felt like, maybe I should have vetted a little better. I should have asked him a couple more questions, because dating can be a waste of your time sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that, because sometimes it is. But thanks to OkCupid, they have changed the dating game by asking you tons of questions about yourself and what type of person you're looking for. So the more questions you answer, the better they are at finding you matches that you have something in common with. Some of the questions that they ask on OkCupid are like, are you a morning person? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Could you ever date someone that couldn't be bothered to vote? What's a bigger deal, sharing your bed or history in bed? You know, are you a cord cutter? Do you share your streaming platform passwords with other people? Hey, you might get a password out of it. Who knows? And by the way, OkCupid works. It's the most mentioned dating app in the New York Times wedding section, and it's the only app in the world that can match you on a range of issues that you actually care about. So from how important a good margarita is to how you feel about climate change, OkCupid's got your back. So stop the mindless time on dating apps and go to the app where you choose what matters. OkCupid is free, by the way, so I don't even have to give you guys one of those super long URLs or a code. Download OkCupid today and go on a great date this week and DM me about it. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, OkCupid. I'm currently doing Deepak Chopra's 21 Days of Abundance.
Love that.
Ashley Lauren, I'll tell you guys about it, but it's basically 21 days where you meditate and you have a different task every day. And he says something that I wanted to share with you guys, which is like, I feel like you're going to roll your eyes, but maybe not. But it's like, it was so weird when he said it. He was like, he's like, what is reality? And then he was like, what was a chair? What before it got made? Like, what was like a little baby girl before she was born? Like, it was like a thought, like, where was that thing? And it made me think of reality so differently. Like, we genuinely create it. Just because you can't see something or touch something, like, doesn't mean it doesn't exist in some way.
No, I hear you.
But I know that's like so hippy dippy.
We're speaking to like a very select people that will get it, but that's okay.
I wanted to talk about, so you know how earlier in the podcast, I'm not rolling my eyes, but early in the podcast, I was talking about how I feel like I am my husband's life coach, which makes me feel like there could be like another way of saying it so that perhaps the people out there who are a little bit less like, we'll just keep calling it hippie if you don't mind.
Yeah, spiritual, I think, is probably like.
I don't know about spiritual.
When I hear the word spiritual, I think of ghosts.
That's funny. Everyone thinks something different, because I think like a higher being, whether it's God or like
because I believe in God and I am full of my own spirit and in touch with my own spirit. So that's why I don't want to use the word spiritual.
Okay.
I don't understand. I don't know the word to use, but let's just say I feel like a synonym for life coach could be hired motivator.
Oh,
is that
I like
correct?
That. Do you think that, Kaitlyn?
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Do you feel like most of your job is motivating people to do what they do?
It's hard because I'm very honest with my clients, but I'll never give my opinion. Like, so if I'm not sitting there being like, yes, you can do this, like follow your dreams. Like, it's not that clear. It's more of, in my training and in the program that I did, I'm trained to ask you a certain type of question, how to ask the question, how to listen to my intuition to make you realize that you have the answer. So sometimes like the sessions are really deep because you're getting in tune with like what you want and what your fears are. And I'm just holding you accountable. It's like accountability. Does anybody watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know how Teddy Mellencamp calls herself like an accountability coach?
Yes. Oh my God. I was going to literally bring this up earlier when you said, I don't know what you said, but I was like, I wonder if that's like Teddy Mellencamp, because my friend Tanya Rad used her as her accountability coach when getting fit a couple years ago.
Did it work?
And she's still like on the program, but like she doesn't have to report to Teddy like every day. Yes, It did work very, very well.
Yeah, I would say just accountability in general, like accountability, and instead of motivator, I would call it more accountability. Not that I don't motivate people in different ways, but it's more of like truth-seeking accountability.
Gotcha.
When people come to you, and you gave a great example, I think for our listeners specifically, maybe people that went to school that felt like they paid for this major that they're not using or feel very lost or just out of school, or maybe they are in a career that they don't love and they're older and they have kids now and they feel like they've lost themselves and they're a mom and they don't like love what they do. What, obviously without giving your program away, but like what are some things that you tell your clients to get over those obstacles? Can you give us like one or two?
Well, the way the program would work essentially is first I want to know what you're doing now. I want to know, first of all, you were motivated to reach out to me in some way. So that's already a sign, and that's already like a huge like sense of self.
That's like half the battle is getting there.
Half the battle is someone being like, I'm recognizing that there's something about me that's not quite 100%. And just to email me is a big deal. But I find out what you do now. What is it that's really the problem? Then, like, you know, what are you trying to do? What is your dream? I want to know that if money wasn't an option, if you could do literally anything in the world, what is it? Like, what is your perfect day when you wake up? Sometimes
I want to sleep all day.
Right? People will literally be like, wake up, like, go to lunch with a friend. Like, and it's like,
ladies
sick.
do lunch. Yeah.
Literally, if that's what you want to do, we could probably make it happen. You're going to end up fucking working for an MLM, but that's going to suck for you.
What's
like,
an MLM?
Like, have fun. Like, it's one of those, like, multi-level marketing, like, like, you know, like Arbonne or Rodan and Fields. Like, have fun. That's how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's figuring out what you're doing now, what you want to do, what your dream life is, and then really figuring out if what your purpose is within that. If you could pick, let's say you say that you believe in your gut that your purpose is to entertain. Mm-hmm. That's your purpose. Mm-hmm. Then what are you doing now that supports that? What is your career now? Is it supporting entertainment? Let's say you work behind a desk. No, it's not. Okay, then let's talk about your hobbies. Like, then I go through a list of values. I have you go so deep into your values, even things that maybe you haven't even thought about before. Mm-hmm. And then we go through every aspect of your life. And if your action is not supported by your value, you are on the wrong path, 100%. So if you're trying to live this authentic life and be closer to whatever you believe in, even if it's just yourself, if it's not God or spirit, whatever the fuck you want to believe in, if your values are not supporting your actions, you're not being the best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. You're not living your purpose even at all. So it's just about finding that, figuring those things out. Every client is so different, though. I can't even say this is like X, Y, and Z for each one. That. Yeah.
But I do, now that you bring up something that I do want to ask you, because I feel very lucky and blessed that I feel like I have found my purpose.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, what the fuck is my purpose? I don't have one. I feel pressure to have one. So what do you do with someone that comes to you that's like, I don't know what
that's like everyone, basically. No one really knows their purpose, but it's so funny how quickly you begin to figure out what your purpose is once you just start to think about it.
So what types of questions do people need to ask themselves to figure it out? Can you give us some of
sure.
that?
If you're someone that's struggling, if you're that person that's, you know, like you said before, you might have like a mom that's listening or someone that's a little older or whatever. If you're not totally sure what your purpose is, even if you're younger, sit down and ask yourself, like, what sets your soul on fire? Are you the person in the room that's always the light? Like, you know, that person that everyone knows is going to, you know, put a smile on everyone's face. Are you that person? Are you someone that feels really good at the end of a day because you've done this, that, and the next for a friend or for your mom or your dad or your grandma or whatever it is? Are you just the things that genuinely make you so happy that you can't stop smiling? Like, what is that? And then sometimes, you know, people will come to me and I'll be like, what's your purpose? And they'll be like, my purpose is to be a lawyer. And I'm like, well, that's not your purpose. That's an occupation. So like, what's your purpose? So
very
mine
big
is
difference.
Huge
Very big
difference. So like my purpose is to serve. Yours, I'm sure, is to serve too. Like you do hosting and entertainment and this and that. You're serving a group of people. Maybe it's to entertain. Maybe it's to support. Like maybe it doesn't matter what it is, but that's your own personal adjective. And then once you figure it out and you say it a bunch of times to yourself in the mirror, it'll feel right. And you just kind of realize you're like, yeah, that is why I'm here. That's why I'm here right now.
I literally just almost lost my train of thought because I am so damn comfortable right now because I am wearing my Figs. So if you don't know what Figs is an amazing company that is making scrubs stylish and functional for the people who deserve it the most, which are doctors, nurses, and us, obviously. So for years, nurses, doctors, dentists, and other awesome medical professionals were forced to wear like scratchy, ill-fitting scrubs, not to mention how ugly they were and uncomfortable. I mean, like, why couldn't they come up with better colors? I have no idea. But thanks to Figs, they create the highest quality medical apparel so that medical professionals look their best, feel their best, and perform at their best every day. Figs scrubs are infused with antimicrobial properties to control odors, ridiculously soft, moisture-wicking, and features 4-way stretch, which I totally need. Figs are made with yoga waistbands and come in a variety of styles from straight legs to joggers and skinny styles, and gives back, and you can too. So every time you shop at Figs, they give scrubs to healthcare providers in need around the world through their Threads for Threads initiative. So you're buying something, you're also giving something, which feels amazing. Also, Figs gift cards are available. So next time your doctor, nurse, dentist, dermatologist, pediatrician saves the day, tell them thank you by sending them a pair of Figs. So again, whether you're one of the awesome humans that works in healthcare or someone who just wants to say thanks to these deserving folks, or like me, you just want to lounge and look stylish, Figs is going to make that easy by providing you guys with 15% off your first purchase by using our code GETIT. Get ready to love your scrubs and head to wearfigs.com, WEARFIGS.com, and enter our code GETIT at checkout.
There's a couple adjectives, phrases that you have on your website that are definitely more in like the spiritual sense that I want to address a little bit.
Please.
So you talk about energy and quantum shifts.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this means something along the lines of what happened to me the other day. And you wrote an article on your website that made me definitely think of the exact situation I was in the other day.
Yeah.
Where it was a group of people, everybody had really positive vibes, except this one person was very sarcastic and emitting a lot of like, I want to say like darkness, negativity, like just like, but like dark sarcasm, you know, like not funny, lighthearted sarcasm, but like it just felt like it doesn't. I'm a Pisces and I do feel like I pick up these vibes very easily and it can very easily throw me off. But in your article, you talk about how you can't let other people's energies throw off your own energy.
Yes.
And you said that even like in those moments, you just have to like stay strong to your own energy. And if you really are having a hard time with it, then you just need to leave the environment.
Yeah, exactly. My big thing with that is, you know how you just said it, Ashley, like when someone in the room is so fucking dark and like negative, it's so easy for us to go down to that and match that. But just as easy as it is for us to go down, it's just as easy for them to come up. So you need to like stay up at all times because it's better if two people are just up. Like, and you have no idea how much your positive energy is going to impact them. They might have been in a really shitty mood and they're just being sarcastic and doing all this stuff as a deflection because of something that happened earlier. And if you just stay the light and you stay up and you stay high and they come up, that feels so good instead of you going down and taking that shit on, which is like the most unnecessary thing ever. And it shows without any disrespect, it shows a sense of weakness that you're that able to just let anything affect you at the drop of a hat. Stay high.
Yeah. It's hard. It's definitely easier said than done, I feel.
For sure. But if you're conscious of it and you begin to like say to yourself and realize, you know, just acknowledging it. You go into a room, you notice that someone's energy is off and you say to yourself, Kaitlyn, I'm not taking that on right now. Yeah. I'm above this. I've had an incredible day. I'm doing good. I know who I am. I'm going to stay up and hopefully they come up and join me. If not going to take it on.
Right.
What if it's somebody who not necessarily is in a mood, but is in a permanent state of
so someone that just fucking sucks?
I feel like I know you're talking about. Wait, answer that and then I have a question. That's a great segue.
Then you need to understand that it doesn't sound like that's changing. And that doesn't mean that eventually it won't, but you need to prepare yourself in every single way before you know if you're going to be around this person. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect in whichever way feels right to you. Some people are really into sage and candles and this and that and mantras. Other people are not as hippy dippy and they're just more going to be like okay, like I'm just not give them out. Don't acknowledge them if that's what you need to do. You're not being an asshole. Just don't take it on.
That's kind of what Ashley did the other night. She just kind of pretended like they weren't in the room.
Yeah.
Well, Ash, I'm so happy that you brought this up because a big thing I wanted to ask Kaitlyn and a big reason why we have you on, Kaitlyn, in our first podcast of 2020 is because obviously a lot of people go into the year like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And a big thing that I always hear people say is I'm going to cut toxic people out of my life, or is that something, as a life coach, is that something people should do? And if so, how? I feel like that's a really good segue.
Sure.
If you have like these sucky people in your life.
If you have sucky people in your life, and I mean like bad, like there's a spectrum and you need to be able to acknowledge where those people are on the spectrum. If there's someone that really is harmful to your life, yes, you cut them off. But if there's some hope within someone, if it's just kind of like a friend that's fucking annoying or just like someone that you feel like might have a little bit of hope, I like the approach of saying hi and still being aware that even if you separate yourself from the situation, I don't like cutting people off. I think that that's really intense and really harsh unless, like I said, circumstances, if something really awful happened with that person and you need to get away from it and let it be, fine. But to so specifically just cut people off, you could separate yourself. You could take a break, take a step back. But to cut someone off doesn't feel like high vibe at all, like on anyone's end, because there's a difference between protecting yourself and then being just a dick. And like you don't want to be that person if you're trying to radiate like at a really high frequency. So that's not great, but if I were to give your listeners kind of advice on what to do to like really start 2020, you know what I don't like? You were saying you see people say, I'm going to cut people off and this and that. Yeah. I fucking hate when people are like, in 2020, like I'm actually so sorry if any of you did that.
No. Say it.
I'm actually so sorry. But like when people write down I'm really into manifesting and I'm really into writing down your goals and having a picture or an idea for what you want to do. But if you're like, I'm going to buy a house in 2020 and I'm going to do this, I'm really not about that, because when that doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, that's just a really shitty feeling. So I take the approach of manifesting.
Have intentions, like not like specific things.
Not specific at all. Right. I say manifest a feeling. Right. If you want love in 2020, manifest love. Don't manifest the person, because then it's open to interpretation. That means you could be finding love within yourself. That means you could be finding love with a new friend. Like it doesn't, a fucking animal. I don't care what it is, but you're leaving it up. If that's what you want love, it'll come to you in some way. If you want abundance, that doesn't necessarily mean money. Abundance could be in health, in wealth, in whichever way it is. So if you're listening and you are someone that hasn't really gotten in tune with what your goals are for 2020, start thinking about what you want from a feeling perspective and let that be, what it is.
Okay, so one thing I realized while I was home for the holidays was just how amazing it was to be a kid and have your parents pack you lunch. I was home for the holidays. My mom made a bunch of food. I didn't have to lift a finger. And I just realized that adulting sucks because your parents don't pack your lunches anymore, but you still got to eat. So when I'm at home in LA, my go-to is DoorDash, because DoorDash has all my favorite restaurants. The brown paper bag is not included, but I'm telling you, it's a life changer. DoorDash connects you to your favorite restaurants in your city, and ordering is so easy. All you have to do is open the DoorDash app, choose what you want to eat, and your food will be delivered to you wherever you are. And you don't have to lift a finger, just like when you were a kid. Not only is your favorite pizza joint already on DoorDash, but there are over 340,000 restaurants in 3,300 cities, so you might find a new favorite restaurant too. With door-to-door delivery in all 50 states and Canada, order from your local go-tos or choose from your favorite ones like Chipotle, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and the Cheesecake Factory. I know you guys are hungry just by me listing these. Don't worry about dinner. Let dinner come to you with DoorDash. And right now, our listeners can get $5 off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter our promo code GETIT. That's $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store and enter the promo code GETIT. Don't forget, that's promo code GETIT for $5 off your first order from DoorDash, and you won't even have to lift a finger.
So Kaitlyn, my husband and my biggest difference, I think fundamentally, is that I am the ultimate optimist. If you see on my Instagram, my little bio says I'm either optimistic or delusional. It depends on your point of view.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
I just came up with that quote on my own one day, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
No, that's really good.
Thank you. So that's always been me. And I call him a pessimist. He calls himself a realist.
Oh my God, I hate it.
And our biggest difference is that sometimes like I will just be like, oh no, like nothing I've ever set my mind to, I haven't achieved in one way or the other. I said this in my Instagram post, my New Year's, my New Year decade wrap up thing, where I was like, in some way or another, I have manifested and achieved all the things I imagined for myself over the past decade. Now, some of the things I get and I decide that I don't want, and some of the things that I want, like I haven't gotten completely yet, but it's just like, in some way or another, I have gotten what I wanted by using the power of positive thinking. So it really brings me down and really frustrates me when I'll come up with an amazing idea, something that he and I should go into together. And he'll be like excited about it for a second, but then he starts thinking about all the what ifs and all the difficulties and challenges and roadblocks in the way. And then he gets all discouraged about the idea. And then I try to keep him high on the idea, but we don't butt heads, but like he brings down my high, and I want him to see things more positively. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but
you're not. I will say one thing though about anyone that says they're a realist. Okay, so sure, Jared might not be a negative person. He's just saying, like Ashley, like you're the one that's like stuck in the clouds, and I'm the realist. I'm the one that needs to bring us back down and see different perspective. Who the fuck is Jared to tell us what's real?
Well, that's what I always tell him.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, not only just Jared, like I have friends, my brother is like that. I'll always say to my brother, Matthew, who the fuck are you to tell me what's real? Like, you don't, how are you a real, what makes you a realist? Like, you know it all? Like, what is that? So it's perspective, and it's again about a spectrum. And I think that a lot of the times people that are realists are the most afraid of failing.
I kind of agree with that.
The thing is, he agrees with that too.
And that's it. And that's all it is.
That deep down, it's about fear.
He's scared. Do you want to change him?
Well, I want to make him a more positive thinker. And no matter how many times I tell him that I believe that the power of positive thinking, in addition to hard work and taking the right opportunities and not being scared, has really led me to accomplish what I want and get what I want and feel very fulfilled. But I just want him I want him to believe in the power of positive thinking as much as I do. And I don't know how to do that.
First, he needs to realize that fear is not real, Ashley.
Yes, you're right.
Lauren.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's not... I know you want to change him, but that's not your job. And if he's meant to be at the same level as you in this thought, then he will. He'll get there. And honestly, Ashley, you can manifest for him to start. Like, you can manifest him to change.
Really?
Yeah, why the hell not? Of course you can.
Yeah, you're right.
So, going back to, not manifesting a specific thing. So, I shouldn't manifest, a specific guy.
Well, no, that's not true. Okay, if you're out here manifesting Johnny Depp, that's a problem. But
if you're manifesting a guy that's out there with a first and last name, is that a thing? I'm so interested to know.
Honestly, is a thing.
Oh, great!
I've done
Lauren
that.
And I have both. Yeah, Lauren and I have both manifested names.
The actual person.
Yeah. No, you can definitely
times.
do that.
Okay, because
are you trying to do that?
Well, you guys all know that okay, so most people listening, I've shared my own journey on this, but just like Ashley, I feel like aside from love, I've manifested everything in my career. Everything I want to do, I've written down. I write down on the 31st, the 1st. I'm very hippy dippy, spiritual, meditating. And it's all come true. And I've come to realize that I haven't put love as a priority. I've always thought of this list as sort of tangible, real things that I can drive to and do, not love, this thing that you can't feel or touch or whatever. So then I was okay, this year, Love's like number one. That's like what I really want, what I want to be open to.
That's amazing.
And I was talking to someone that said that they were manifesting a specific guy, and obviously Ashley and Lauren have done the same too. So what are your thoughts on that, Kaitlyn?
Okay, Naz, manifesting love is my ultimate strength.
I know. I know. When you come over, can we have like a seance at my house, Ashley?
You have to daydream. You have to daydream. And that is
do you
why
have
I'm manifesting.
someone like, do you really have like first and last name? Like,
I think I do. I think I do have a person in mind. Maybe.
I would start by getting so specific with what you want in your man and writing it down and be as shallow as possible. Like you can say to the T, blonde hair, blue eyes, this is the body. You can do that. Also get deep, but you can physically manifest.
I want to share a funny story about this because I went to Esalen, this like spiritual place, and this woman, Ashley Lauren, if you guys are listening, she manifested a guy. She said, I literally wrote down everything specific that I wanted in a man, and he is exactly to a T, but she said I wasn't specific enough. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I wrote down on my list, knows how to cook. And so the guy I married and has a lot of money. And she goes, the guy I married knows how to cook, has a lot of money, but he doesn't spend the money and he doesn't like cooking. And I was like dying, fucking laughing. And she's like, Naz, you have to write down knows how to cook and loves it, and has money and spends it. And I was like laughing so hard.
No, it's true. You just said it yourself. Everything you write down kind of comes to fruition. So why would this be any different?
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, have you had shitty dating experiences?
I've never had a boyfriend. I don't want to go down this road.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Everyone already knows. Like, you and I can talk after, but I want you to kind of help us and our listeners talk about how to manifest a guy or something like that. I feel like that's something
it's the specifics. It's writing down, and it sounds cliche, and people talk about journaling and all that stuff all the time, but Ashley said it so well before, and it sounds crazy, but daydreaming is the number one. Like, for you to be in a constant state of just daydreaming your perfect life, your thoughts become things. That is the ultimate, that is the secret. That is what everyone is longing for. The more you think about something, the more it happens. And just in the negative way too. If you're someone like Jared, who's a realist, aka someone who's probably like, we need to leave at 6 o'clock because I know we're going to be stuck in traffic. You're not being a realist. You're manifesting traffic. Like, that's what it is. So it's you need to be in a constant state of changing your thought patterns like permanently, that you don't think of anything else but like positive. And it sounds crazy, and we are all human beings, and you're not going to be lovey-dovey 24/7 and positive and great.
Right.
But if you can be so aware that even the moments that you stray away from positive thinking, and then you're able to say like, okay, Kaitlyn, like I'm steering away. Let me return back to this positive thought. Like just keep returning. Keep coming back.
Is there an easy way to come back? Like, is there like a word, a magic? Is it like an abracadabra?
I just say come back. But
okay.
I literally have trained myself so well to acknowledge when I'm steering and when I'm back.
Right.
And I'll just say come back, come back all the time.
So let's be real. Getting ready for work can sometimes be a challenge, especially when you hit the snooze button a bunch of times. You only have a certain amount of minutes to get out of the house, and you're trying to decide in your head, do you want today to be a stylish day or do you want today to be a comfortable day? Every day, you guys, I face this challenge. And thanks to Beta Brand, this challenge is no longer a challenge for me. So Beta Brand's dress pant yoga pants are genuinely the greatest thing in life. They are stylish, comfortable, it's professional attire, and you shouldn't have to choose. So with Beta Brand, you never have to sacrifice comfort or function for style. Beta Brand's dress pant yoga pants are super comfy, perfectly stretchy, and stay wrinkle-free. This may be TMI, but I always wear it during that time of the month. They have all the style of dress pants with the stretch, fit, and feel of yoga pants. So whatever your style, Beta Brand has the pants to match, and you get to choose from dozens of colors, patterns, cuts, and styles. They have boot cut, straight legs, skinny, cropped, and more. They even have a pair with 8 pockets. And now they also offer premium denim with the same flexibility and comfort as yoga pants. So right now, our listeners will get 20% off their first order when you go to betabrand.com/getit. That's 20% off your first order at betabrand.com/getit. Millions of women agree these are the most comfortable pants you'll ever wear to work. You'll never take them off. So go to betabrand.com/getit for 20% off. That's betabrand.com/getit.
So you said you manifested being on Big Brother for 5 years before you were on it.
100%.
You did say that you manifested a win, which you didn't get.
Yeah,
but you did get
not
pretty
even fucking
far.
close. Yeah, no, I got to Big Brother, and that was the biggest win. I came to LA after my freshman year of college to intern for my cousin, came out with a girlfriend of mine, and Big Brother is a show that's on 3 nights a week, and my cousin was out here watching the show 3 nights a week, and I felt like we could never hang out. And he's like, well, why don't you just watch this with me? So we sat down. I'm like, all right, I'll watch this piece of shit television show. Sat down. Wow. Literally within the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, I'll be on this. Like, it was just one of those things. And when I moved to LA, I moved the November of 2017. And I just said, you know, I had a boyfriend at home of 5 years. I had my family. Everyone was back in New York. Mm-hmm. And one morning I was just like, I think I got to go to LA. Like, I think coaching will be easier for me out there. I'll find more clients. Literally in February, I found out that there was an open casting call for Big Brother, and I simply went to it as a joke because I was like, oh my God, how Hollywood of me. Like, I'm in Hollywood. Like, let me do an open casting call. Like, that's so funny. Like, I'll tell my parents about it. And then they just never stopped calling me. And I was like, obviously they never stopped calling me. I was meant to be on this show. Yeah. So
yeah. I had the same feeling watching Juan Pablo's season of Bachelor. I was like,
ew, he was not a good guy.
But the travel was so incredible on that season. And I remember watching the episode of they were in Seoul. And I looked at it and I go, that's the job I want. I want to travel and work on this show because it's about love and it's like all this crazy travel. And then it was like within months I got laid off and then like worked on Bachelor.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like as soon as I signed up for The Bachelor, I knew I was going to be on it. I was like, there's no doubt. My dad is also a realist. He's a very successful realist, but he has always been like, Ashley, you're wacky, you're crazy, you welcome to Earth. This is a planet, you know, like calm down. And he like thought I was wacky for thinking that my audition was going to like sail through the casting producers, but I definitely knew it.
When you know, you know.
I'm definitely the exact opposite kind of you guys. Like I had like a really good week. I've been really happy. And then mom was like, oh, you're so happy. And I'm like, yeah, it'll definitely end soon. And I'm like, so I'm just preparing myself for the sadness. So I'm not like alarmed when the sadness comes.
Kaitlyn, what can Lauren do? Like if she's like always like in a slump. Yeah. Lauren, I want to hear from you more.
She's fearful.
But Lauren, how do you feel?
Well, I just, the thing is, like the other shoe has to drop, or the ball has to drop somehow, or whatever that saying is. So it's like you're just kind of preparing yourself for the other shoe to drop. I don't know if that's the saying, but you're always preparing yourself for that, and that's what I do.
How is that helping you though?
I guess you're right. It probably doesn't do anything because you're just gonna be sad either way.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to think of it like, how is this serving me? Every thought you have, because I mean, we don't want to live this life just being negative or preparing for something bad to happen, because when you're preparing for the worst, you are manifesting for something bad to happen.
I know. I was literally just talking to my mom about this. I'm like, I'm so happy. Everything is going pretty well. And I just want to I should be able to just enjoy the happiness while it's here rather than preparing for it to go away.
But also, Lauren, accept where you are and don't judge it. Like, it's really probably easy for a lot of people, or like your mom or whatever, people just to say to you, like, get out of this funk, like you're in it and you're, you have no reason to be there. But also just accept where you are and know that you don't want to stay there and that you can get out of it and you will. But this is just where you are now and you're taking the action to change.
I want to piggyback off that because I feel like a mistake a lot of people make, myself included. An example is I got a trainer and I'm not happy in the body I'm in. And I think it's also bad to think, oh, well, when I weigh this much, then my life will be amazing and I'll be happy. So I think it's also accepting the slump and being happy in it no matter what.
It's just acceptance of loving exactly. Because here's the thing, and it gets even deeper, but if you loved yourself so much, honestly loved yourself, nothing would bother you. And
that's where Ashley shines, I feel like.
Well, I like to tweak a little bit, but most of it's just appearance wise.
No, amazing. You love yourself internally. It's the best.
Yeah, I know.
It's the truth though. When you do love yourself, it's nothing bothers you. So maybe that's where everyone should be starting with 2020, just self-love.
What are some other things our listeners can do? Like, just it's 2020. What should people be doing? Like, is the vision board a thing? Is that too hippy dippy? Should we be making lists? What should we be doing?
It depends on the person.
Also, how tips to love yourself more.
That's a really good question. So I think, and this was not even something I prepared, but just speaking and this coming into my existence right now, I really do think that the takeaway, especially for your listeners in this kind of demographic, should be self-love, just at least to start January. And then we can get deeper and really take it on. Like, I can come back in 6 months and we can do a halfway check kind of situation. But for now, let's begin with self-love. And that could be different to every person. For me, I buy myself flowers once a week at Trader Joe's. Those are just, and that's nothing. That's literally nothing.
I love that.
In the grand scheme of life. But what is making you happy and making you realize that I'm worthy and I don't need anyone to do this for me, and this is something that makes me happy? What are those things? If that means that you could be someone that's really into fitness or not, but go on a walk, go take a workout class. You have a moving body. You are a functioning human being. Show respect for the vessel that is giving you this life in this physical earth right now. Do something, get your blood moving. Just make sure, even if it's just once a week, you are doing something for yourself that you can walk away on Sunday when you're reflecting the night before work and say, this is what I did for myself this week to show myself how much I love me. And eventually you'll notice the quantum shift, like Ashley said, is on my website. And the quantum shift is basically when you begin to realize that you have gone from 0 to 100 of there's been a change and a noticeable change. And whether it's I love myself, or I'm starting to feel healthier, or I'm manifesting all these wonderful things into my life, there's a shift, and you barely have to do anything to get there. It's crazy. People think it's some magical, just do one little thing and you'll notice a change. Drink another freaking glass of water and you'll notice a change.
Right.
It's not that crazy.
My New Year's resolution is not to exercise.
I love that.
Wait, what?
It's to move more.
Okay, that's fair.
Because that way, I don't have to push myself to the point where I don't want to go to the gym, or I dread, any sort of workout. I'm slowly getting myself back in by just trying to be slightly more
active,
mobile.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Wait, Kaitlyn, when you do your sessions and stuff, do you work from home or do you go to the people's houses, or how do you do it?
Most of my clients are busy working individuals, and it's all via Skype. Unless, I have a few that are out here in LA and I usually come to them or they'll come to me. But unless I've really been with them for a long time, I won't just let anyone in my home.
Is having a life
yeah.
coach expensive?
It depends on what you think expensive is.
It's also in the grand scheme of life. If you're helping guide or motivate yourself in life, it's worth all the money.
It's not for someone that is struggling financially at all. It's not. You need to be able to afford to invest in yourself 100%, which is why I like the fact that now I have this podcast and I have other ways to reach people that don't require them to have one-on-one sessions with me. But yeah, it's not any more expensive than a therapist. It's the same.
I have the prices for you right in front of me, if you don't mind.
You're actually on my old website right now, but I'm sure they're relative. Read me what it says for the 1 year.
It says the 1 year is 11,000.
Yeah, it is for 1 year. And think about it. Do the math. One session every single week for a full year.
Yeah.
That's a great deal for those people
but
that do that.
But it starts at, what's your starting cost for a 3-month program?
A 3-month program right now, you're spending $777 a month.
Okay.
And that's for one session a week, 60 minutes, a plan, the whole thing.
Damn, I want to be a life coach.
But think about it. A therapist, that's, when you really think about it, I'm getting 200.
Well, I have a therapist, so yeah.
Yeah. It's not a therapist. It's you get to be left at the door with your therapist. With me as your coach, you have my number.
You have the accountability.
You have, not only do you have, for $777, not only do you have one session a week for 60 minutes, you have my cell phone number. You have 2 emergency 30-minute calls. My life is indebted to you. So I think it's a way larger value than therapy is. Although I think that if you want ultimate success, you need a therapist and a life coach because therapy is going to help you get to the deep past traumas and all of that
You're
shit.
gonna work through your past. Yeah.
I don't work on your past. Who are you showing up as and who do you want to be?
Right. Do you, what was I just going to ask? Is that stressful for you? I got like a lot of anxiety.
No, because I don't take it on. Like, you mean as far as energy is concerned?
As far as like always being on call and like having to sort of guide people.
It's my purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my purpose and I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when it's not, when I feel like I'm getting burnt out, I'll stop.
Kaitlyn, you held sessions before, I think it was before Big Brother, that were to help people get out of funks.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Ashley, this research you've done.
Oh,
you are a journalist.
Thank you.
So I have a program called Defunk Yourself. And it's basically a 12-step program, kind of like sobriety, but it's not actually sobriety. And it's the 12 steps to get out of your individual funk because we all fucking have them all the time.
Wow.
So this is like a universal program that I've created that will get you out of your funk. So when I was living in New York, I held like classes and I would like to turn it into like a workbook one day that people can buy.
That's fucking genius, Kaitlyn.
I know.
I
I
all
like
the time. I'm like, I'm in a
deffunking
funk
workbook
right now.
is good.
How the fuck?
Oh
Can
my
you
God,
tell
it
us what
works.
the 12 are? Like, obviously not. You can't.
I
Okay,
won't.
got it.
I won't do it just because that was like so rude of me. But I feel
No,
like
no,
it's
that's your IP.
No,
You
not at
should
all.
like hold on to. Yeah,
no, I want
wouldn't
it to
say.
be. I want if you have the opportunity to one day get it or have it or go to an event where I'm teaching it, I want it to be so specific to you and that experience. But yeah, I want you to want to go. I want you to want to sign up to have those 12 steps. I don't want to just give them to you
What
right
do
now.
you define a funk is? What is the definition of a funk?
That's a good question. It's just that energy. It's that feeling that sits right here in your chest or in your stomach that does not feel like in equilibrium with who you are. And you know that you're off. You know you're not your highest self. And that for everyone, that's different. Sometimes, unfortunately, and also within my program is knowing what a funk is versus just not feeling well, which is something that a lot of people suffer with. I did when I was growing up. It's like, am I not feeling well or is this anxiety? Like, is this a physical symptom or is this a physical symptom that I'm having because I'm mentally not okay? It's kind of deciphering between all of that. But
Genius.
it's a lot
so
of
proud
fun.
of you. That's
Thank you
amazing.
so
That's
much.
incredible. I'm
Thank
definitely
you.
going to look that up. That's amazing.
Can you tell us one little thing we can do if we're feeling like a small day funk?
Yeah.
We're like squeezing Kaitlyn for all she's got. We're like, come on.
Actually, do you want to hear a good one?
Yeah.
You're either going to like this or you're not. And this is without giving an actual step away. But when I do the live events at one point in between like steps 2 and 3, I do a guided meditation to Shake It Off by Florence and the Machine. So if you just blast Florence and the Machine, Shake It Off, you'll feel better.
Okay, so Florence and the okay. All right, well that's a good song.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Ashley goes, well, that's a good song.
Great tune. Great tune.
So funny.
Okay, so I want to go a little bit one step more spiritual before we wrap you up.
Let's
Talk about orbs and how you see them around people's head. Have you always seen them?
Since I was a
or
kid.
has this been after your certified training?
No. This
I
is not
feel like
after
that
my
wouldn't come
training.
with the training.
No one teaches
I don't
you.
know.
You can't get superpowers out of a training
Okay,
program,
fine.
Ash.
So basically, she was born seeing orbs around people's heads?
Yeah, what? How could
Okay.
you buy that from a store?
You know, it was not something that was developed, but it's not like orbs. I see auras around people, and I have since I was a kid, but I didn't know that was not normal. That's like, how do you explain it? That's
You
like
physically
if you
see colors around people's heads?
Say that again.
You physically see colors around people's bodies?
Yeah, around your head, around
Can
the top
you
of
see
your
one
head.
around my head
See
right
the
now?
Absolutely.
color.
What's
What
my
did she say?
color?
You're yellow.
What does yellow mean?
Yellow actually is like the step below purple as far as spirituality is concerned. Purple's your top notch. Like you are like enlightened. You have it. You're almost like on this path of spirituality, but you also are like extremely sensitive. But not emotional. I wouldn't say you're like fucking like throwing things against the wall in like an angry kind of way. I'd say that you're just sensitive and maybe a little out of touch with like how you really feel about things. I'm not trying to say these are just the aspects of people that have yellow auras typically. But also people that have yellow auras find a lot of healing with nature. So if you're someone that is not spending a lot of time outside, I would say do most of your activity. You said you have a trainer now.
Yeah,
but like,
I love being outside. Yeah, I love nature.
Like being outside is going to, some people when they're not feeling well, they work out to get their endorphins back. But I don't feel like that's that for you. I think if you just simply went on a walk, it would be fine.
Yeah. Wow, can you tell Ashley and Lauren's aura?
I don't.
Just
I'm
from
not
their
with
voice.
them.
Yeah, you have to see people.
Yeah, it's always something that I need to like see you and be in your presence. But when I was younger, I just always thought that was like who thinks that I'm just like a Long Island girl from like New York. I'm a Jewish Long Island girl.
Yeah.
It's not weird for me, but yeah, since I was a little girl, I always saw color around people. And when I say color, it's not like there's a highlighted color around your head. It's just when I look at you in the eyes, you know how sometimes if you look at someone, you could see peripheral vision behind them or to the side of them. When I look at you in the eyes, I see in my peripheral vision on top of your head a color.
That's wild.
Damn, I'm sure people ask you all the time what their color is.
Dude, you have after Big Brother, it was like the most annoying thing in the world. It's like,
Oh
what's my aura? Like on the side of the street.
Can you charge people?
You're black.
I would never. No, I've never seen black. I'm convinced that's not a thing.
Lauren.
Oh my God, there has to be someone. His name is Damien, probably.
You also talk about not just it's like your orbs, but your guiders,
Spirit guides.
Spirit guides. So are those similar to orbs?
No, so spirit guides are completely different. So spirit guides, kind of what I believe.
Are they dead?
Say that again.
Are they like angels? Like, are they
kind of?
deceased?
So people don't consider spirit guides. Spirit guides are a group of people, in like the most simple way to explain it, that are guiding you through life. These are the people that told you to make a right turn instead of a left because if you made a left, you'd get into an accident. These are just like energies that are guiding you throughout life. And it's not, sometimes one of your guides could be like a deceased loved one or someone that you knew from a past life or whatever, but it's mostly just strangers that like signed up and said like, on the other side, I'm going to guide you through this. So a lot of people like pray to God and they'll pray to, they'll kind of have internal communication with past loved ones. But I always say to say thank you to your spirit guides because those are huge aspects of your life that help you move forward. And actually, without like plugging, there was a girl that was on our podcast recently. Her name is Monica the Medium. I don't know if you guys know of her.
Yeah.
But Monica just wrote a book that I just started reading literally 2 days ago. And it is so good. And she explains it way more like beautifully than I ever could. And she's not even like my friend, so I don't even know why I'm giving her so much of a thing right now. But like she explains it so well, like what spirit guides are, like what the meaning of them are and how to get in touch with your spirit guides and communicate with them. And I don't want to touch on that as deeply as I know she could probably do it and sound better.
I love that.
There are some amazing pictures of like spirit guides, angels, whatever, after like car accidents and stuff. Like,
I've seen stuff like that.
Whoa, what'd you Google, Lauren?
Amazing. You can Google like car accidents and angels or spirit guides, and like there's like orbs or mist things that are in the shape of like people, and it's after like horrific accidents and stuff, and the people survived. So
but are those ghosts and angels or are those spirit guides?
They're the same thing.
Are they the same thing?
Whatever you believe.
It's whatever. It's again, guys, it's like totally a spectrum. All I say is for anyone that listens and is like, I'm not into this, I don't, whatever, believe in what makes you happy.
Right, exactly.
But also don't. I believe in everything because who am I
to not believe?
To not know. It's like I don't know it all. So what I just believe in the fact that I don't know most of what's probably very real. Yeah. This is temporary and I don't think this is home base. I don't think where we are right now and this earth is home base. I think that where we come from and where we go is home base. And it's like when we die or when we're born,
we go back.
Yeah. I have like this feeling that when you pass, like you're immediately the second you pass, you're like, oh, fuck, I did that again. Like you just like remember all of a sudden. And like this is just
I
temporary.
love it. Kaitlyn, you're amazing. You mentioned your podcast. What is your podcast called and where can people find it and find you?
Yeah, our podcast is called Quarter Life Crisis, QLC. It's myself, it's my friend Morgan Willett, who has also been on Big Brother and The Challenge, and my friend Amanda Perrin, who is a registered dietitian, and it's all things health, wellness, figuring your shit out. You can find us wherever you can find your local podcast.
I love saying that. And where can we find you? Like on Instagram?
You guys can follow me on Instagram. I lose followers by the day, so that would be really helpful at Kaitlyn_Herman.
We all do.
We're all losing followers by the day.
Well, just like follow me and show me some support. That would be really helpful.
You're like really pretty, but do you get your lips injected? Because they look beautiful.
Oh my God, that is the nicest thing you've ever said. I've never had my lips injected a day in my life.
Oh my God, they're perfect.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm not going to lie. It's probably my favorite part of my face.
Yeah, they look amazing in person. It's like the top one is just like lifted ever so slightly.
Really?
Like perfectly. Yeah. Very sexy.
Oh my God, guys. Are we hooking up? What's happening?
We are hooking up. And speaking of hooking up, Ashley, Lauren, and I are actually having a Galentine's event where we're going to be, for the first time ever, doing a live podcast in Los Angeles, February 6th. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Tickets are going to go on sale very soon, so stay tuned to the Facebook page and our Instagrams. And also, I'm throwing a Heartbroken Anonymous this week on Thursday in LA at 8:30, so go to heartbrokenanonymous.com for more info on that. Ash, Lauren, do you guys have anything you want to add?
Well, it's nope. I was going to say it's Bachelor season, so you guys look out for me for all my recaps. But as far as questions with Kaitlyn, no, I think I got everything on my question list. I thank you for being
Thank you
here.
so much.
Thank you guys. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back.
I guess I have one more question. If you were to leave our audience thinking about one thing today, what should they question themselves about?
I'd say, I mean, especially going into 2020, how happy are you? Scale from 1 to 10. How happy are you? 10 being you're so happy, nothing is willing to change. You're great. You're in a great spot. 1 being obviously really not in a great place, and figuring out where you land and then how you can go up, because everyone's goal is to be at 10, and you don't want to start this new year in a low state of energy. And how can you get up and like let that include self-love and manifesting and figuring out exactly what you want, and just start off the year good, guys.
Yay, happy New Year, everyone.
I have one more thing. She didn't have an I don't get it.
Oh, yes. You're on the I don't get it podcast.
Do you have anything you don't get about life?
Tell us about one thing you don't get.
Just like anything I don't get?
Yes.
That's like a really good question.
We
What
should have
don't
asked at
I
the
get?
top
I
of
don't
the
get a
show.
lot of things.
Yeah, you said at the top of the show that there's a lot of things you don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anything. Just kidding.
But not knowing something and
Don't
not getting
listen.
something is different.
Like, I
know.
I truly don't get people that are rude to service people. Like, I was at Jones on 3rd earlier today, and the girl in front of me was ordering a latte, and she was screaming at the guy. And I'm just like, I've never worked at a restaurant or in service, but I will never be disrespectful to someone that is serving me. I was floored. And there was a point where I like interjected and said, like, ma'am, he's doing his job and it's the beginning of the year. And so I don't get rude people that are rude to people of service.
I'm so glad you said something to that bitch.
Oh, I could not just be a bystander. She was so fucking rude. And I was like, oh my God, it's January 2nd. Like, what happened to you?
It's so funny. Everyone's so nice and amazing. What?
Share what somebody said to you just before the podcast.
Oh my God. Today I was grabbing the equipment from Lauren's place, and I like parked really quick outside, with like my hazards on, but my fault. I was like blocking an entrance to a garage. And so I come out, and this woman like runs up to me, and I like put the window up, and she's like, "You're a fucking bitch. You're so stupid. Why did you park there?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
Like,
and I go, "Happy New Year!" And I like backed
You
up
did
and
say
like
that? Okay,
laughed.
good. Oh
It was
God.
so wild. So wild. People are crazy.
Yeah, don't.
Like, why was she so mad?
I don't know, but I do want to leave you with a random weird thing. Charlize Theron got discovered by yelling at a bank teller for not checking her check because she didn't have a bank account.
Really?
Yeah, and then a guy walked up to her and goes, "I don't know what you're doing, but if you want to act, call me."
Wow.
That's so random. Don't be mean to people, but isn't that so random? I read it today.
You should have started singing, "You Need to Calm Down. You're being too loud."
Imagine.
And on that note,
Thank you all
Happy
for
New Year,
listening.
everyone. We love
Happy
you.
New
Thanks
Year.
for listening. Our 4th year of the I Get It podcast.
Insane. Woo, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't get it.
Podcast.